Welcome to Quantum Alchemist Master Podcast. In this space, we share our journey in the awakening and integration process without judgment, building an all-inclusive community of awareness, love, support, and full acceptance. Reminding you that you are the master, you are the healer, you are the medicine, you are a divine, infinite, multidimensional being. You are source in human form. We all are. Everything you seek outside of you is inside, inviting you to go within so that you remember who you really are. Step into your true potential, create your own reality, and contribute to the reality of the collective. The change starts with you. We're all one, and love is the answer. Welcome, TiTa and Gabi, to the Quantum Alchemist podcast. It's an honor to have you here. How are you today?
We're doing great.
Very good.
Yes.
Excited to be here with you.
Same. So I'm dying to find out a little more about what you're doing, your community, what kind of activities you guys have going on, and a little bit about your own background and how you started in your own journeys. So share whatever comes up for you.
Nice.
Yeah, so we are located in Miami, but we are both from Brazil. I'm from Brasilia.
I'm from São Paulo.
And we are involved in the conscious community, expanding consciousness and bringing quality information, and above all, creating a safe container for community.
Very nice. And what kind of activities do you guys do there in the community?
Yeah. So me and Gabi, we meet up in a spiritual class. So that was always like the link that started our friendship. And the friendship just evolved and developed in a way that we wanted to be in the same city, because she used to live in New York and I was living here in Miami. So she moved to Miami and we thought, why not like creating this space where we can have this type of events that we have, offerings all related to consciousness and to like a spiritual expansion. And so I'm a sound healer. Gabi is a Reiki master. She works with Tantra as well. She has her project on the Death Talk. So the first thing that we thought about was doing an event combined. So we do Reiki and sound healing. And it's really beautiful, really powerful. And Gabi hosts her talks here as well at Casa Boa Vida. And then we just started expanding with yoga classes, breath work, and sound healing. Other events, like we had a goddess brunch that we organized, and then another brunch for men and women named Café com Amigos. We have also concerts here, and we'll have the first women's drumming club this Saturday, the 15th.
That's exciting.
So yeah, we are super open to any type of events that resonate with those things that we love and that can bring that type of expansion to the consciousness and the collective.
I love it. Even though we're going to go ahead and put it on the description, where can people get in touch with you? Maybe their Instagram, if you have a website or anything like that. If you want to share it, if they're hearing now.
Yeah, so first of all, I'd like to say that this house has a name, and the name is Casa Boa Vida. Boa Vida, it means good life in Portuguese, our mother language. And it's located in Buena Vista, which means having a good view, a good perspective. So to me, it fits perfect that in order to have a good life, you have to have a good perspective of things, a good outlook. And people can find us at Boa Vida House on Instagram, which is the Instagram for this house. And there you can see everything that TiTa was talking about, all the offerings that we do, and all the guests that we receive, because it's been a blessing that people have been reaching out, asking to host their events here, which is awesome. It's a confirmation that we're on the right path. My personal Instagram is Goat Gabi, GOATGABI. And I also created the Death Talk that TiTa mentioned, which is a series of talks about death, because I am a birth and death doula. So I decided to teach people about conscious dying. And it's not just for people who are on their deathbed, but all of us will die one day. So why not talk about it? You can find the Death Talk on Instagram under this name, the Death Talk.
Love it.
And I have a website. Goat Gabi. So I love to hear from your audience. If anyone enjoys what we're doing, please DM.
Awesome. So actually, TiTa, do you want to share any of your stuff?
My Instagram is TiTa, TiTa Espindola, Espindola. That's my Instagram. I share music there because I'm a singer too, and I play different instruments. I also share about offerings and other things. I have a website too that is TiTaEspindola.com.
Awesome. Thank you. So I'm always very excited to talk about death and just kind of bring it as a normal topic and just kind of normalize it a little bit. I mean, it is part of, the trajectory, the journey, and we kind of tend to leave it in the back burner until the end and maybe treat it a little bit like on the side, right? So, of course, you have the Death Talk, which is amazing. Is there any insight about that that you want to share? Whatever comes up, just anything, either near death, after death, or anything related to that subject. I think that's something everybody would like to hear.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for opening the space for us to talk about death, because I think it's always a good time. We don't need to talk about death when, first of all, we don't know when death's coming. And when we live with this awareness, we understand the gift that it is to be alive now. I went through many experiences with death since childhood, and I had no one to talk to. That was very isolating as a child, as a teenager. Finally, around my 20s, I started opening up, and I found out that many were experiencing similar feelings and emotions and also had no one to talk to. So after studying birth in Hawaii, I decided that I should also study death and how to hold space for grief. But that decision opened up so many doors within me that I am forever grateful. When I was studying death, I realized that we never talked about topics like suicide, the correlation of sex and death, and why are those themes taboos if we remember that our ancestors used to die at home, surrounded by family and friends. Nowadays, we are so far removed. So when I was coming back to New York, where I was living at the time, I was already on the airplane. The Death Talk, this needs to happen. This is how it's going to be. And since then, it's been an adventure. I'm so grateful. And lastly, I would like to share with your audience breaking news. I'll be writing a book soon.
No.
Live Before You Are Dead, Reflections of a Birth and Death Doula. Because I realized that a lot of people are not living life to the fullest until they realize that they will die. So I'm very excited about it. TiTa has been to the talks. Do you have anything to share about what you learned, amiga?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, to me, that was never a topic, I don't know, that I could talk about or get more information. So the talks have been really educational for me and also making me reflect about a lot of stuff that we are just not, I don't know, taught to think about, to reflect. So yeah, there are different topics that Gabi teaches and share her knowledge around death. And it all brings it back to life, as she said, because it's like an eternal cycle. And death meaning not only someone that is dying, but the end of relationships and phases in our lives. So it's really profound, and I definitely recommend. I love it.
Thank you, amiga.
Well, if you, since you're venturing into writing your book now, if you need a book publisher, editor, I know it's not part of what we're going to talk about, but I do know somebody just in case you need it. And I also have a friend who has a studio. She owns a studio in case you want to do Audible. I'm actually recording some stuff with her now, some guided meditation sessions. So if you need all that stuff, or if you want it just as a second reference, I'll send it over to you. Just let me know.
Appreciate that. And I just want to let everyone know that the talks are here at Casa Boa Vida. I don't have any specific date for them. It's always when the fourth vortex is open, because these talks are so deep. Last one was about grief. Upcoming, we have dreams, psychedelics, suicide, afterlife. So whenever the vortex is open is when I post on Instagram that we will be hosting them. And I also offer a space on Zoom where people can be watching from anywhere around the world. I already had someone that was watching from Brazil, from New York, Asheville, which has been great because not only I am talking about death, but I open the space for people to share about their own life experiences. Because once again, we all want to be heard and seen when we are alive, not dead.
I like the way you bring light into the transition and how everything is put together. It's just a cycle. So I love the way you phrase it. And talking a little bit about psychedelics and plant medicine and this type of subjects. Have you ever had an experience with that, or know people that come to your talks that have had an experience with that? Or in Brazil, maybe how's that looked at, a little bit different than, East and West, they look at medicine a little bit different, or what's your experience with plant medicine?
A lot. I'll let you start, or do you want me to start?
I feel like our paths connected because of that, true, but I have had multiple experiences with many different plants. Psilocybin, mescaline, bufo, grandmother medicine that some know as ayahuasca, peyote. I have been to the Native American church, and it's been a gift because many of these plants are straight from the nature, from the jungle. I got to connect with Brazilian tribes. I'm very close friends with a bunch of Hunicuins. And for me, it's similar to what we were sharing about death. Sometimes it may be a taboo, but then I ask myself, why? We're talking about a plant that is growing from nature, and I believe that there is so much social conditioning around these themes, loaded with shame and guilt. And I believe that if we have more information, we avoid accidents, because these plants need to be taken with a lot of respect and integrity. It's the same with death, with birth. I work with birth. But when we don't talk, when things are taboo, accidents start happening. People get hurt, trauma happens. So I'm all for these conscious talks around the plants because they help change my life. And when we met, TiTa was not within the universe at all. But then I still remember our first experience together. And she was like, wow, amiga. So this is what you like to do. I really like the shamanic stuff.
Yeah. So I was blessed to have Gabi as a friend and getting in touch, the opportunity to get in touch with that knowledge and all the different plants that are available. I heard for many years about those plants and psychedelic experiences, but I always had this taboo because I grew up in a Christian church, and I just learned in general that this was not something good. And having the opportunity to experience myself and have my own opinion, now I can say that yes, they are really tools to make you connect with yourself and with nature, and and with God and everything that it is. And it's really life-changing because it brings you back to source. And then ultimately you realize that everything you need is inside you and you don't even need those plants. But they are great, amazing tools to help us connect, because we live our lives in such an auto mode and just like this matrix, and thinking that life is only about the material stuff and what we can see, and it's much more than that. So yeah, as Gabi said, I think it's really important to like say again and make this something for everyone to understand. With everything else that we are saying, it needs to be done like in the proper setup, with the right people, with the right intention, with the proper respect and integrity. Yeah. Okay. So for that, you have to find the right people and the right setups, right? But when it's done in a way that it's really authentic and connected to the roots, right? Because those are all ancient traditions and knowledge that we are kind of getting in touch again, or it's getting more popular nowadays. But it's like you have to honor the traditions too, and to fully understand and experience the power of the plants. That's my opinion.
In addition to what TiTa was sharing, she mentioned that I study and I teach Tantra. And to me, it's beautiful because Tantra teaches me autonomy. And also that everything in this material experience is sacred. Therefore, working with these plants is a way of expanding consciousness in a ritualistic, sacred way. But these plants are a tool, as she mentioned. I need to know that I can use tools, but I should not be used by tools. Everything can be a medicine or a poison. I believe that when we become dependent on external factors to help us to be free all the time, I believe that the plants are a great heart opener. Some of us, like she said, we are in a density. The songs that we listen to are all dense. The food, so much toxins, emotional toxins, physical. And the plants really break your heart open. But the plants are just one slice of the pie. I like Tantra is kind of having a foundation for a house that you want to build, and the house is your new consciousness. You want to expand the house. You want to build new rooms. But if you don't have a foundation, it's all going to fall apart. So these plants, they can be great allies, but they can also be dangerous if not approached with the right preparation. Preparation is everything. They amplify your state of mind. So when I had my first experiences, I used to be in silence for 7 days. And yeah, I really took my preparation as a sacred experience. And because of that, I had a lot of clarity in my visions. But whenever I wasn't doing that in that way, so there were times that I got more confused. So I think it's important to share this, because nowadays people only want to talk about the beauty of this experience and how everyone should do it. But it's not for everyone if you are not at the time where you are ready to prepare and to go deeper within you, right? When you are thinking about your food habits again, the music you listen to, you're going in within. So thank you for bringing this up. I love to talk about it, as you can tell.
Absolutely. So the only thing we're trying to shed light and open doors of infinite possibilities, right? Whether you agree or not, or you want to experience it on your own, it's fine, but just bringing light to it, right? I guess the best experience would be trying it out by yourself and see if it resonates with you, if you feel you're ready, if you hear the calling, etc. Right? It's a lot of things. And like you said, be able to go to somebody that's well recommended, usually that you know other people that've been to it. It is very sacred, and it will open many doors for many things within you, but with the due respect and the right process, right? The right setting.
And
So
we're
absolutely.
not like we don't like we're not preaching to anyone, you know, like and we don't even like share a lot and talk about it because like if you want to have an experience like that, it has to come from you. You have to make the decision. You can have someone telling you what to do or making up your mind because it's an internal decision and you have to like feel the call and really be prepared for that.
Lastly, I'd like to add to what you're saying that when you go to someone who is serving those plants, understanding that they are humans and they can also commit mistakes. They are not on a pedestal. Once again, that's why it's so important to know who you are, because those humans are amazing. They bring such beautiful medicine, but sometimes they can also commit mistakes, drop the ball, and not becoming dependent on someone, because this medicine is about freedom. So if you go there for freedom, but now you are following something else, you are depending on someone else. At least this is my perspective, and I encourage everyone to go out there, like you said, and then have their experiences and see for themselves.
Yeah, do your own research, understand about the plans and what do you want to accomplish with it, understand the risks and the benefits and everything. Take it seriously. It's not something you can take it lightly.
Exactly. And leading right into that. So after all this process and evolution of consciousness, et cetera, and your own journey, what's a common an idea or a word, anything you want to share that comes up about oneness, source, or the answers being within, being our own masters, you know, like not being dependent on external validation on a constant basis for who you are, the divine being that you are, right? And accessing universal knowledge. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, to me, it's been a lifetime journey, because I was raised in a cult. I escaped the cult, and because I was raised within the belief system, the source was very separated from me, and it was really black and white, God and devils. And where was I in the middle? I don't know. I was always afraid that I was going to get hit by a lightning because I was always doing something wrong, or everything was about trying to do something right. But I guess I understood that we live within morals according to the society where we are. So the same set of morals that make sense to me in Miami, born in Brazil, it's not going to be the same to someone who's in Japan, Ethiopia, Jewish. So who am I to say what is right or wrong, to judge? And it's been a beautiful journey connecting back with the divine in me. I had a lot of heartbreaks, relationships that fell through, because once I started understanding that light is inside of me, I'm like, oh, okay, so I don't need to be in a place where I am being pulled into extremes anymore. Because to me, that's the separation of source. When I think I'm right, you're wrong, I have the only truth of the universe. I believe that all of us carry a little slice of the truth. If we get together and unite, we can have a little picture of the whole pie. Saying that my slice is the only one that's good because it's pepperoni, you'll not be right. You know, maybe someone likes margarita. I like to illustrate this in a fun way, because this topic doesn't have to be loaded with shame and guilt, separation. It's been awesome. Tantra, once again, has been the greatest gift for me, because when I learned about Tantra the first time, the teacher was sharing that we only evolve through experiencing things. When I was listening as a child that we are born sinners and nothing here is good, so when we die, we go to paradise. Now I hear that, no, this is sacred, and each and every experience is sacred because it's helping you to become the human that you are in this divine light. That was life-changing, and from there on, I just like to say Tantra is not a religion, it's not a philosophy, it's a way of life. There is not one person that I follow on Tantra. Ultimately, it gives me my tools to be able to keep moving through this life, shining my light bright. And through that, I hope that it can help ignite other lights.
Yeah. To me, it's very similar to what you were saying. It's a journey, it's a life journey. And it's almost like this path never ends, and you're constantly learning more about source and oneness and how we are all connected and intertwined. And it's beautiful because now quantum physics is proving it, right? So like it's not even about your beliefs or spiritual beliefs, and it's really, it's everything that it is. It's all connected. We are all connected, and there is this light, however you want to call, source, God. There, people call it in different names. Your higher self. It's, yes, it is real, and as we said, like there are many ways to access that state, to access that feeling, and to be connected. And I think that's another beautiful thing. We were talking about plant medicine, but as I mentioned before, you realize everything is inside you because you are everything, and we are all connected. So ultimately, like you can access that through many other methods and meditation, right? Just being able to sit still and watch your breath and your thoughts and see how you can evolve and expand your consciousness. It takes you there too. So there are many different ways, and yeah, there's always a little bit more to see and to achieve.
I love. Go ahead.
Yeah. I like to say that it doesn't have to be complicated to access these states of, because to me, the oneness, the first time I really experienced oneness and I was like, whoa, this is within myself, was my first journey with ayahuasca. I could just feel so much love, overwhelming love towards me and all beings. But that was my first experience within the plant experience. Now, every time I'm feeling so much love and gratitude, even if someone makes me angry, but through that I can see the divine in it. Am I in coherence here? So I see that the divine is talking to me through that experience. And it becomes pretty simple as you practice this, seeing the divine in everything. Oh, wow, this person just said this to me. Interesting. It's a human that has this divine. This happens a lot with people dying, for example, that when you are holding space for someone who's dying, you don't have to say anything. Just listen, because you are the witness of the divine in them. So it's beautiful because it's so simple and we don't need to complicate things.
I love the way you put it. Just several things to expand on a little bit. Number one, that is simple. Number two, that we all have access to it. It's not that division, one higher than the other. Maybe some have more practice, of course, they do daily or whatever, however often, and others are just getting into the process, but we all have access to that. So I love the way that you share that. And I love how you expanded on the pizza and the pepperoni. I kind of like to think of it as a collective remembrance of who we are, right? So I always also talk about the pizza. I say, imagine if we're like a whole pizza and then each of us is like a little slice. And then we're all lifting a little side of the veil, right? I don't think one person can lift the whole veil yet, maybe, but this is what my point of view. I think we all get a little side and then see what we have in common, right? A lot of the times, the oneness, the love, the respect, looking at the teaching, what is there to teach us, and so much more, right? Helping each other and see how that not only affects you individually, but as a collective, right? How we can impact and change the world and change our reality. So thank you for putting it in that way, that it's not so complicated.
Thank you for adding too. I love that of the pizza. And
I really want to say one last thing about this pizza, because so anyone who's listening really understands. Imagine a margarita pizza. Not every slice is going to have the exact same amount of basil, of cheese, of tomato sauce. Some will have more cheese, or the more basil, and then you're serving that to friends. We'll see what everyone will like something different, and that's another part of oneness. To me, is honoring our differences. It's what makes us beautiful. The diversity. We are here, all different skin color, hair. Everyone, we have a unique fingerprint. So our difference is what makes us stronger, when we can look at it and see how it's beautiful. Thank you, pizza.
I love that. I also like to think of us like as an ecosystem, like kind of like Mother Earth. We need animals, we need everything that exists in it to coexist, right? If you take out one from the equation, kind of messes everything for everybody else. So that unique fingerprint is essential for all of us to be their own unique divine self and contribute to everything else, to the reality that we have. So that's awesome. Is there any particular, let's say, like strategy tools aside from plant medicine that you would recommend, either for when people are going through like the dark night of the soul, or ego death, or life cycles, or death and rebirth cycles, any of that that you would recommend, maybe just so they can research a little bit more about it, do their own due diligence on it, and see if it's something that resonates?
Yeah, to me, number one is meditation. It's really, really powerful to be able to hold your mind with that intention of being mindful and present in the moment, in the eternal moment, that it's all that we have right here, right now, this second. And so there are many types of meditations, but like meditation as a base is the number one for me, and mindfulness. I'm a sound healer, so I'm passionate about sound and music. That's really powerful as well, because sound is the expression of energy, talking physics, right? So when you use sound in the right way, you are actually like witnessing and experiencing that expression of energy. And sound healing is basically sound with intention. What differentiates sound healing music or sounds from normal music is the intention behind, and the instruments that are used, that all come from nature, seeds, wood, metal, crystals. And so that expression of energy is really, you can say it's sacred because it's coming from nature. So sound healing is able to take you to different levels of consciousness, states of consciousness, and it's really powerful. It's always like that with people that are receiving. It's kind of difficult to like not be impacted by it, and that's another thing that I love the most. Is not about your beliefs, and you don't even have to make an effort. You can just basically receive, and the sound will impact you on a cellular level, spiritual body, mental, physical, everything. So I would say it's sound healing, breath, and then breath work. It's also like how we can access different states and get into blissful states if you're going through the dark soul, as you said, or just working with ideas like solving problems. You can do so many things with your breath and using specific techniques that we call breath work. So those are the most, to me, I think those are like, there are so many, but those are the most impactful ones, or at least in my journey, the ones that I've been using the most.
Thank you.
Beautiful. For me, some simple, powerful practices that have been with me for the past few years since I started my expansion. Yoga. Or nowadays, not only I understood that yoga is not just going there and doing the asana. I believe that at this point I am a yogini. So I would say movement in general. Maybe there are no rules. Maybe one day I want to go on a run, I want to lift some weights, but doing the asana as well. The asana is preparing us to lay in the corpse pose so we can meditate, because first you need to move the energy in our body in order to be able to sit and meditate. We have so much stored in our bodies. If we don't move that energy, the brain's like... So movement is free. You can just go outside, even do it inside. You can move with your breath. It's infinite possibilities, life-changing. Dance has been great for me. Dancing with no rules, no expectations of how I should look, just moving freely as a wild being. The second one that has been with me the whole time is journaling. I believe that journaling is so powerful because our mind is going, and then you just put everything in order when you put it on paper. When you really get into practicing that, you see that soon there is so much knowledge coming out of you, streaming out of you. Once again, it's all practice. When I started journaling, it wasn't cute and beautiful, but that was one line that I wrote on the journal years ago that I said I wanted to have freedom. At the time, I believed it was financial freedom or whatever that was. After that, so many beautiful gifts came into my life, bringing me the freedom that I was searching for, that I had no clue. I believe that was an instant manifestation because I put it on the paper with a strong intention. Lastly, what's helped me a lot, well, I guess I have two things to mention. One is food, because food is medicine. And after my awakening, I don't like to use this word too much, but I'll use it. Awakening, I started having consciousness about the animals. I'm not vegan now, but I went through my almost vegan phase. I understood everything that we eat comes from somewhere. It doesn't come from the farm that we see on the book when we were kids. Consciousness is being aware of all that's going on so you can make a conscious choice. When it comes to food, we are what we eat, literally. It's the gasoline. When I had that consciousness come to me, it was life-changing. I'm still not Miss Perfect. I love my chips, and I believe we need to have fun. But food really changes how we are operating in life. Even some foods that are too spicy or too salty, they may make you angrier. So it's not necessarily that someone is pissing you off and that's why you're angry. Our foods create poison or medicine inside of us. The last one is laugh. I had a lot of trauma in my life and I didn't know how to laugh for a long time. Once I was able to look at all those stories and find some sort of humor in them, it was such a powerful medicine, and I believe that when we laugh, be it laughing at your own self or with friends, it's free. You can do it anywhere. And if something is making you upset, not always is going to be funny, but eventually I believe that if we can laugh about it all, it helps us to live life more freely and lightly. We don't have to be carrying rocks in our backpack the whole journey of life. Laugh a little, my friends.
I love that message. Well, everything has been so useful, and I love how simple and simple terms you guys put it. It's something that everybody can do, and that's kind of the whole purpose of this, is to invite everybody to live in the question, right? Just that's it. Just question everything with a mind of curiosity, with an open mind. Be open to infinite possibilities, and then you make your own judgment from there, right? Which I also don't like to use that word, but I'll use it in this case. So that's
Do you
fun.
have any tools to share, or like what are your favorites?
So you guys have mentioned a lot of the ones I do. So I do a lot of journaling for when I'm working with my Akashic records. So some people just kind of channel it right through. I'm more of a writer. So that's how I kind of download the information for me. And breathwork, I host breathwork sessions that are pretty powerful. Scientists say, I'm not a big fan of percentages, but they say that we operate 5% consciously and 95% unconscious, right? So being able to access that part and just some of that, bringing it to the surface and making it conscious, right? We could suppress a feeling and experience a trauma for 20 years, 30 years. And now you have the opportunity to, it's okay, feel that, bring it through, process it, acknowledge it, integrate it, and work with it, work through it, right? So you guys have mentioned most. I think those are, in my journey, have been the most useful. I'm really intrigued about the Tantra stuff. I guess I got to come by for a class.
Yeah.
And so, and learn from each other, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. Just walk each other and just do it together, right? It's just, the journey is a lot easier when you have a community and people that support you. So that's
it's so interesting what you said, because this is something I thought about saying, but I guess it ran off my mind. But I was going to say also learning to ask for help. And sometimes, pretty often, I do lots of consultations with someone who is reading my Akashic records. What a beautiful tool. I love, love, love the Akashic records, and yeah, just asking for help. There are so many light workers or whatever people call therapists, you name it. There are so many beautiful beings here ready to extend their hand and help you to get up on your feet. So it's always good to learn to ask for help and accept to receive.
I love that. I think that's actually one of the hardest things for people, feeling worthy and being able to accept the help. So I found in a lot of people I encounter that, and in myself, I'm not going to exclude, that was one of the things I had a hard time with. So thank you for bringing it out and pointing it out. So I always love to touch on manifestation, because it's a big thing. Everybody loves manifestation. And, if anybody has anything any specific practice that they like to share, I always ask just in case. We've heard some pretty interesting ones. So what do you guys have to say about that?
Let me see. I've been into manifestation and using different tools. One that I used and it was really incredible and powerful was just putting together a dream board, like a vision board. So when you do that, you actually, like, you're thinking about the things that you want to accomplish, right? And then, so in that process of thinking, finding pictures and putting out there, like, you're literally sending a message to the universe, and it happens. It's incredible. Affirmations are also very powerful, and I've worked with that. And till now, like I have some affirmations that I like to listen, or I like to write them down and put in places where I can see and get in touch with that energy and that idea on a daily basis. And lately, what I've been feeling the most is just that, I don't know, when you are really in flow and connected to source and doing your best and working on yourself, it's almost like, yeah, good things are coming. And when you're in that sense of trust, there's nothing that you can ask, or I mean, whatever is coming, as you said, infinite possibilities. It's just more than I can ask for. So I'm in that phase now of really trusting and not specifically writing or putting pictures, because I know, I trust, I am in union with God and everything and source, and I'm working on myself, and I'm, also putting myself available to support others. So I know that it's only good things are coming on my way, and I'm trusting, and I know that it's more than I can ever ask for. And I've been experiencing that in my life. Like so many beautiful opportunities, relationships, experiences. I could never ask. I couldn't even imagine. That would be so beautiful. That would be so incredible. So that's where I am right now.
I love it.
Yeah. For me, in my experience, manifestation happens when my thoughts, feelings, emotions are aligned with my actions. Because we can talk about manifestation all day and write all the affirmations, but if your actions are not in alignment with what you desire and what you are feeling, you are going to co-create a mess. And I've been there many times. To me, it goes back to doing this homework. Oh, wow. What in me is, am I in coherence here with this manifestation, with what I want to experience? Is this aligned with my thoughts and emotions? And how are my actions matching what I am saying or thinking or feeling? Because I may say many things and do something completely different. Believe that I'm manifesting something great, and in reality it's not in alignment. So to me, it's been an interesting journey with manifestation, demystifying it, seeing where is my accountability in it. Oh, wow. I guess I am responsible for all things because we are manifesting every day, all day long. Everything that we experience has been manifested by us. And sometimes you can manifest, like we manifested this house. Mm-hmm. But we can manifest a bunch of other things. So how are my actions throughout my day? Are they in alignment? And there is nothing right or wrong, in my opinion. It's just an experience. Oh, wow. Maybe I'm acting like this. I'm acting this way because there is something from my past that I'm not welcoming. So this action is coming to show me that I have to clean the house first. Everyone wants to manifest, but first you will have to wash the dishes, organize your drawers. Our outside and inside, there is no separation. If your house is a mess, it's showing you somewhere inside of you, it's messy now. And no right or wrong, but if you want to manifest, I believe that first you have to clean those drawers and wash the dishes.
I love how you put it.
Yeah, I love the pizza, the dishes.
Yeah.
Wash those dishes.
Yeah, no, I love it. I feel like we kind of said pretty much the same or almost in different ways, but I love how you put it because Like, so good, such good explanation.
I
She's
like-
the talker. I love it. I love how you can actually like talk through it.
I like to illustrate with
Yeah.
real life situations, because we are in this real life, but
Yeah.
it's all beautiful. Everyone will have what they have to say about manifestation is the pizza pie. Am I right or wrong? No. So we are all here seeing what works for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
And
it's
thank you
all
for
about
sharing.
being in coherence, and the way that you feel is actually like a big part of
That's
it.
what's it's this
Yeah.
magnet.
Yeah.
Our heart is magnet.
Yes.
So yeah, if my heart, mind, actions is not in coherence, co-creating a mess. We know a lot of those messes around there, being there.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Is there any last messages or recommendations or anything you want to leave the audience with? It's open floor, whatever you want to share to kind of finalize.
Firstly, I'd like to say thank you so much for this invitation. It's a pleasure to connect with the community. Always awesome to talk side by side to my friend, my amiga.
Sister.
She's so awesome. Her medicine, her voice. Please, if you have a chance, check her Spotify.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Spotify.
Because
We'll talk more about that.
voice, it's another tool. We can open our mouth and create magic. I'm learning again the way back to my voice, my medicine. So just thank you. I hope that if you have an interest around death, please reach out. It's so important to know that we have a container, not only death, but sex, tantra, birth. All these experiences that we mentioned, I love to share about them. I've been doing these talks. I have done a talk at a music festival. I can also travel with them, do it through Zoom. The goal is just to get everyone opening up, being vulnerable. These talks are not, last thought that I have to share is that my talks are not only for the conscious community or only for the New Age or shamanic. My talks are for everyone, because we all are born, live, and die. What are we doing with the life that's given? So if you have an auntie, a mom, a children, they are all welcome to my talks. My talks are not religious. It's very simple, and it's just to help everyone to see the light in life, birth, and death. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's been great.
Yeah,
Thank
super
you.
grateful as well for the opportunity. Thank you for inviting us, for connecting. We're so grateful to be expanding our community, and all the people that we know that we get in touch. It's always really incredible just to connect with people, just to listen to their stories, just to share a little bit. And when we witness each other, there is healing happening all the time. So that's really beautiful, and I'm really grateful.
Thank you,
You
amiga.
specifically, of course, you already know. And please connect with us. As Gabi mentioned, I also have music available on Spotify. So I'm a singer, and I have mantras there. I have love songs because love is medicine too. I've been working on different projects now, so I'll be releasing new music, new songs very soon. And your support is greatly appreciated for an independent artist. So
Awesome,
yes,
awesome. We're
please
gonna make
check
sure to
it out
include
and
all
share
of
with
that stuff, your Instagram, your Spotify, the talks, so everybody can check it out, and highly recommend. I'm gonna be the first one there when I get all the links.
Yeah,
So thank you for that.
Thank you
It's
so
an honor
much.
to have you.
I have one last thought, actually.
Sure, go ahead.
Is that we are always influencing each other. There's interconnectedness that you asked us about. Therefore, when I am doing my expansion, I see it as a planetary conscious network. One person that is, I tell TiTa, I have to do this talk, and I talked at a music festival, a bunch of people, but I also have done it at the house, and I told her, even if only one person shows up, I'm doing this talk because this one person, this one word that I say to someone right here and now can change one or multiple lives. So really see the value that we have and we carry as individuals. We always have so much responsibility. Make sure to remember that we all have our medicine and can shine. The sun is here for everyone. Thank you.
We're going to end it with that. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. For more, follow us on Instagram at Quantum Alchemist Master.